Hey, Salado, you Salado families, hope that you're doing well wherever you are, whenever you watch this video. If you spend any time listening to our sermon series, you know that we follow the lectionary. It's the approved plan to read through the Bible over 3 years and highlight different aspects of Christian scripture and theology. And we're starting the Advent season, the season that leads up to Christmas. And traditionally, it's a time to think about the waiting that the Israelites had when they waited for the Messiah, who was Jesus. And today, our passage in the lectionary about this time is about the end of time. Why is that? Why are we talking about the end of all time when we're talking about leading up to Jesus? Well, that's because in this passage in Luke, Jesus is teaching the disciples about the signs that they will see, and that a lot of these signs are not good things. There's a lot of negative things that are going to happen before Jesus returns the second time, something that we're all waiting for. And the disciples, he tells them, when you see all of these things, at that moment, stand up and lift up your heads because your redemption is drawing near. Why is Jesus telling the disciples, and by extension us, to do this? What does this have to do with Advent? Well, first, if you're anything like me, you realize the world is far from perfect. The signs that Jesus talks about, the negativity in the world, we see that all the time. It doesn't take long on the internet, it doesn't take long in the news to see all of that happening right in front of us. Now, that's not to say that Jesus is coming back tomorrow or anything. I'm not going to speculate about timing on any of that. Some people get really obsessed with that, and that's not the point of this at all. The point is, we know that Jesus will come again and that he will set all things right. And that's part of Advent, is waiting for that setting of all things right. That longing for the day when justice will be served and things will be made right and God will rule and God's kingdom will be fully present in our lives and on the earth. Something we all want and desire. And that should be part of what we think about in Advent. But why did Jesus say, in the midst of all the negativity, look up? Well, I think it has to do a little bit with this. So if you've ever owned a cat, and you've come into the room and they're just sort of staring off into space, and you kind of come in and you look and what are they looking at, right? A friend of mine used to say that's because they see a ghost, and that always used to freak me out when I was real little. But cats do that, and we follow them. Humans do that. When we see someone pointing towards something, or that old game where you used to stand outside and just stare up at the sky and see which kids walking by would stare up with you. Humans, we do that. We look where other people are looking. So if we as believers in Jesus, when things get tough and difficult and negativity is all around us, where do we look? If we look up to Jesus, if we look to Jesus, others will see us doing that, and they will be inspired to do the same. And we will be able to share how Jesus' love is impacting our lives and making all things new already beginning in us, while still looking forward to that day when everything is made new. You see, just as it doesn't take too many people being negative to bring people down, people standing up and looking toward God can bring people up. It can cause those who are curious, who are walking by, to look up as well and see the influence of God in our lives. Hope that this word has found you blessed. Know that you are loved. We'll talk to you soon.